Hello everyone, welcome back to your favorite political satire show with the facts. I'm your host, Sydney Garrett.
And I'm one of WTF's newest hosts, Thomas Kohler. Let's get to it. In recent news, Congress has voted down and therefore nullified President Trump's attempt to declare the situation at the Mexican border a national emergency. Say what you will about Trump, but at least he's finally getting Congress to actually do something.
To be clear, a national emergency is not simply a title. It would have allowed President Trump to gain full funding from the Department of Defense and also would have granted him a list of powers under the National Emergency Act of 1976, which says the president may seize property, organize and control means of production, seize commodities, assign military forces, institute martial law, seize and control all transportation and communication, regulate the operation of private enterprise, restrict travel, and in a variety of ways control the lives of United States citizens.
So basically, if you're into Star Wars memes, which you should be, President Trump was this close to becoming the Senate.
In other news, an anti-Muslim poster appeared in a West Virginia GOP-sponsored gathering.
Typically, we wouldn't be reporting this because the first place someone would look for anti-Muslim propaganda would be in West Virginia. However, the literature was targeting Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar.
Congresswoman Omar is one of the first two Muslim women in Congress and was less than thrilled seeing GOP groups raising posters that picture her face under a photo of the attack on 9/11. The caption read, "They said never forget, it seems like we have forgotten."
West Virginia GOP lawmakers reacted the same way to this controversy as a teenage boy would react to getting caught with a Hustler magazine in their room. "Oh, I had no idea this was here. That's horrible. Let me just take it, I'll get rid of it, and no one ever has to see it again, I promise you."
Amongst the corruption and drama in the world of politics these days, it's nice to get a little ounce of optimism to get through the daily news cycle. Luckily for us, Elizabeth Warren's golden retriever named Bailey has joined the campaign trail.
All it takes is one swipe on Warren's Instagram page to view her Bailey cam, which posts daily updates of the puppy. If things keep going as planned, we might just have to write in Bailey for president.
Well, Bailey's got my vote. Now let's go to our international correspondents, Jack and Jake, for an update on the spicy relationship between Kim Jong-Un and Donald Trump.
Hey guys, as always, I'm Jack Kessler.
And I'm with the Facts newest anchor, Jake Aldridge.
Today, we'll be discussing the recent meeting between President Trump and Supreme Leader Kim Jong-Un to discuss North Korea's nuclear weapons program, which has remained a constant issue for the Trump administration.
The relationship between these two leaders has changed drastically over the course of Trump's time in office. While the two seem cozy now, who can forget the time that Trump threatened, "I too have a nuclear button, but it's much bigger and much more powerful than his, and my button works."
Having moved on from comparing sizes, the two met to rehash the same argument they have had multiple times. Trump wants North Korea to immediately disarm itself, something which Korea is obviously very unwilling to do.
Surprisingly, this all-or-nothing approach left the two leaders with no big deal to agree upon. U.S. officials seemed disappointed in the outcome of the talks, despite this already having happened in the same way previously.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, speaking to the press like they just lost a ball game and not a nuclear peace agreement, said, "We couldn't quite get there today." The future of the North Korean weapons program remains to be seen, along with the tense relationship between these two leaders. That concludes our episode for this week. I'm Jack Kessler.
And I'm Jake Aldridge. We'll see you next week.